Hello, Bhante. Hello. Nice to see you all. Just give 1 minute, then we can start. Tart is going to, uh, introduce yourself. Then we can start our meditation practice. Okay. Tart, we can start.
Okay, hello. Good evening, everyone. My name is Todd Nielsen. It is the temple's pleasure to have Bhante Jinananda give a guest Dharma talk about the practical application of the 5 precepts in Buddhism. Our precept ceremony is approaching, and we are looking forward to hearing his perspective on the significance of the Buddhist precepts. Bhante Jinananda, a well-known Buddhist educator, is a resident Buddhist monk from the Ottawa, Canada, Hilda Jayawardena Ramaya Buddhist Monastery and Meditation Center. Bhante J has been in North America for nearly 8 years and has been a qualified meditation master for decades in the Theravadan Buddhist tradition. Thank you.
So I think we can start. Thank you very much, Todd, for the introduction and welcome. And thank you, Bhante Vadya, and all the venerable monks at the Blue Lotus Buddhist Temple for inviting me to conduct this 1 hour session with meditation and also the talk on the said topic. and also Bhikkhuni Vimala and dear friends. We are going to have a wonderful evening with the meditation and Dhamma. So let me begin uh, the meditation with you, as I'm instructed by the Venerable Padya. We do meditation for nearly 30 minutes, and that consists of meditation on breath and also loving kindness. And then we end the meditation for the Dhamma talk. So I'm going to start the meditation by giving some instruction. Then after the short instruction, I would say Namo Tassa 3 times to pay our respect to the Buddha, and in Pali and English. Then we start the guided meditation. I do not take too long for instruction because I have the sense that you all meditate well every Monday and maybe other days, because you have great teachers around you. So I know that you meditate well. So the meditation, in my perspective is the way to bring ourselves into higher state of peace and happiness. There are maybe many approaches for that. Simply, it teaches us to be mindful of the body and mind. One of the extraordinary things in meditation is to keep our mind with the body. We are physically here, but the question is whether we are mentally here or somewhere else. So if you are able to keep your mind with your body, wherever you are, which posture you are in, you would be definitely in a unison with your body and mind, and the reciprocal relationship between your body and mind would be peaceful. There you find joy and happiness. So when you take the meditation subject, breathing, there is a great chance for you to get your wandering mind into the present moment, which means something happened at this moment would be, very important. The key thing for your mind to rely on, there you feel physical and mental relaxation, which we expect at the very beginning of the meditation if we do our meditation successfully. The breathing meditation has so many stages, but I do not think we can go into each. But simply, that is what we expect, just to keep our attention in the breath, and there you know the feelings, sensation of the body, and of course you come to know what kind of mind and what kind of mental state you have there in the meditation. So I slowly switch or add another type of meditation which we always do, that is loving kindness meditation. So we can do it because we focus the breath and the body and everything with the basis of loving kindness. So we can add that loving kindness meditation into that part. So let's get into short chanting on noble virtues of the Buddha in Pali and English. Then we set ourselves to go into the deep meditation. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. Homage to the Blessed One, the Worthy One, the Fully Enlightened One. With the peaceful sound of the bell, you enter into meditation. First of all, we all become mindful of the posture. There we have the knowledge of what kind of feelings and sensation we have in the body. Imagine that you sit in front of a mirror where you can reflect yourself. Similarly, you have some mental images of the whole physical body. Feel your head, shoulders, hands, the middle part of the body, especially the chest, abdomen, and lower abdomen. We also become mindful of the back of the body, the spine. Then the hips area and the legs to the feet and toes. Just like a physician checks the body of a patient for details, you have been in a very mindful observation of the physical body. Do this exercise to know about the body with compassion and kindness, because this is the vehicle like things that you carry with you. It is a tool for you to find peace and happiness. Inside the body, there is a brain and also other bodily organs such as heart, liver, lungs, kidneys, and various other important body parts. Be happy because you are here meditating for peace and happiness. What is the most important thing for this body to survive now? It is this in-breath and out-breath that happens at the nostril. So friends, bring your peaceful attention to the in-breath and out-breath now. If you do not feel it well, the thing you need to do is to breathe in intentionally for a few times and release them mindfully in the same way. There you can see that you feel the breath well. So you would be able to find the natural rhythm of the breath slowly and mindfully. You are in the present moment, observing this in breath and out breath. Keep your attention when the breath arises and passes away. Sometimes the breath becomes longer than, sometimes it becomes shorter. By this observation, you let your body and both mind and body relaxed and find unity. This is the best medicine you ever get for your good health. You are in the journey to peace and happiness. Have self-confidence that this brings me joy and happiness. You are surrounded by wholesome friends. The energy in the room, in the hall you are in, is also peaceful. Be happy that this is the best moment of your life. If one brings joy and happiness into application in this way, that is the metta or loving kindness we have in our mind. So, friends, with the basic attention to the breath, fill your heart with loving kindness. May I be well, happy, peaceful, relaxed. May this body and also mind be free from suffering. May they be free from stress, frustration, anxiety. Make your mind simple and gentle by letting it to think just this moment. with the sense of goodwill and benevolence for you. You can look at the entire world where fellow human beings, other living beings live in. Imagine that you are peacefully float in the sky in a beautiful, calm environment. There you can see the entire world, the universe, just like a beloved father or mother. Love unconditionally the only child, even with the risk of life. You consider each and every living beings in the entire universe. Your own sons and daughters. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Your mind is full with loving kindness, compassion, and joy. There is wisdom in your mind that each and every living being would like to be happy and peaceful. So you send radiance of loving kindness to each direction from you. May all living beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Those who suffer from fatal diseases, especially victims of coronavirus around the world, they must be in great pain and fear. So wish them happiness, life free from pain and fear. And those who become victim of natural disasters, and those who die, and those who come to this world, may they all be well, be happy, be peaceful. Very important thing is to know what exactly your mind has now. Is it peaceful, well concentrated on loving kindness? May I be well. May I be peaceful. May I be mindful. And so all living beings. We all know the fact that everything in this universe, including my life, is uncertain, impermanent. But I am joyful and peaceful because everything happens in the present moment. If you keep your mind open, simple, peaceful, and kindful at this moment, you go to the next moment, next hour, next day with the same feelings. So have a great determination in mind that this is the spirit I lead my life. No harm for myself, nor anyone else. The words I utter, the actions I do, even thoughts I think become based on peace, happiness, loving kindness. May all beings be well, be happy, be peaceful. Maintaining the peaceful state of your mind, you may listen to the beautiful sounds of the meditation bell. It reminds you that the life and everything in life goes like the beautiful sounds of the bell. And at some point, it ends peacefully. So am I. I will be in peace, total freedom, and happiness and joy. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Okay, friends, with great joy in mind, open your eyes, and that's the end of the meditation. Thank you so much for meditating with me and with everyone in the group. It's a great pleasure to be with you in the meditation. Let me begin the short Dhamma talk with the topics given to me. As Todd said, the topic is the practical applications of the 5 precepts in Buddhism. Practical application of the 5 precepts in Buddhism is a wonderful topic to have a Dhamma dialogue because of many reasons. In this short Dhamma talk, I try my best to give you the important points of the 5 precepts, and basically how it could be applied to our life in the journey to peace and happiness. As Todd said that you're all going to a ceremony where you specifically focus the 5 precepts and try to bring the Dhamma with it into your life. So I think discussion about 5 precepts would be very important because of the importance of and relevance of it for the meditation and also Dhamma-centered living. When we talk about the 5 precepts, what exactly comes to our mind in the first place is that these precepts, 5 precepts, are the basis for moral foundation. When we look at the moral foundation, we can see different categories and levels of ethical conduct. I'm as a monk, we have a lot of training rules, and but what is the basic for all Buddhists in Buddhism, not only in Theravada Buddhism, but for the Mahayana and Tantrayana, Vajrayana, all these sectors of Buddhism, this is the basic principle, 5 precepts. I'm pretty sure that all of you know about this because it is the foundation for each and everyone. But I would like to tell you these 5 precepts and details of them during my short talks. Therefore, I just want to make the background why and how this could be important for us. Whether you are a monk or a lay person, we need a foundation, especially when we seek for spiritual success. By taking the 5 precepts as your guiding principles, what exactly we do is to train our mind into peace and happiness. As you have clearly heard, our mind is just like a monkey. It goes to different objects over the course of living. Every time our mind is busy with something. This very fact is the key for us to take the 5 precepts to discipline our mind into a state of peace. In Dhammapada, one of the famous books in Theravada Buddhism, the Buddha said that the mind is wild, like a wild horse or wild dog or elephant, and it is us take some principles, just like tools and ropes, to train the mind into discipline. In the Dhammapada elsewhere, Buddha said that Sile Patitthaye Narosapanyo. I'm just using some Pali words because that's how I'm able to get the meaning of the very important Dhamma facts. There Buddha said that the ethical, all the ethical principles in Buddhism based on 3 cardinal principles. That is Sila, Samadhi, Panya. Morality, concentration, and wisdom. When the Noble Eightfold Path, as you well heard, stand on these 3 pillars: morality, concentration, and wisdom. So when we take the plight to practice the 3 pillars, we definitely consider the ethical principles as the foundation for even Samadhi and Panya. Sile Patitthaye Narosapanyo. The one who is wise always take the precepts and moral ethical principles to discipline his mind further. It is wise individual always appreciate the moral principle for their practice, especially on concentration, mindfulness, and also achieve wisdom. Sile Patitthaye Narosapanyo Chittang Panyancha Bhavyang. Without moral principles, we cannot get samadhi, we cannot get peaceful state of mind. Without peaceful state of mind, there is no chance at all for us to develop the seed of wisdom in our mind. So this is how the combination, appears in the Buddha's teaching, especially with regard to three pillars: morality, concentration, and wisdom. So with regard to five precepts and the other set of moral principles, we see this significance that everybody has to understand why we need to be morally wholesome in order to get some sort of happiness in the Buddha's teaching. Practically, a lot of people get to know about the Buddha and Buddha's teaching and all these higher level of peaceful mind through the meditation. I'm pretty sure that many of you would came to know about Blue Lotus Buddhist Temple because of the Bhante Sujata's, Venerable Bhante Sujata's meditation practices. Maybe you heard about meditation as it is famous today through the internet or from friends. So you all come into this training because of the extraordinary feeling that I could be happy by meditating. But have you meditated well to bring your mind into peace and happiness always? Haven't you experienced some problems, difficulties during the meditation? Did you get all the meditation session so cool and enjoyable? I guess no, because we have been meditation teachers for a while, and when we have discussion with people, we know that they have a number of problems. That is because of lack of some ethical conducts, principles. This is the place where we need five precepts in its full form in our practice. If we can go further beyond the five precepts, that would be really great. But the five precepts are enough for each and every individual, despite the age gap, to bring their mind into peace and happiness easily. I remember one story. There was a monk, and this monk was the attendant to the Buddha at the early stages of the Buddha's life. It is a very interesting story. It could happen to us as well. That's why I'm telling it to you. This monk's name is Megya. So this Venerable Megya was attending to the Buddha, and one day he went to a nearby village, and on the way to village for food, he saw a beautiful mango garden. Right? You would see apple garden and other things in this country. But in India, in Sri Lanka, where we grew up, we can see these things quite often. So this Bhante, as soon as he saw the mango garden, thought that, oh, wonderful place for me to come and meditate. So I should get the permission from the Buddha and come here and meditate to enlighten myself. So he got back to the monastery where the Buddha was and asked the permission. Buddha said, can you stay here until somebody comes for me, because I'm alone here. So, but Venerable Megya did not listen to the Buddha for 3 times, and Buddha gave the permission at last, because Venerable Megya asked the permission for meditation to attain enlightenment. How come Buddha, stop him if he goes for long meditation to attain enlightenment? So story is a long one. I'm telling it in short. So Venerable Megya went to the mango garden and selected a tree that he could sit under and prepare the seed and started his meditation. You know, friends, he could not bring his mind into whatever meditation subject he took. He failed. He was a total failure. He tried several hours to at least to sit without any movements, but he was unable to do that. Then he returned to the Buddha in the later evening and said that, Bhante, I was unable to meditate. What is the reason for me to have such a bad experience? Because I want to meditate. I want to attain enlightenment. I have Shraddha, the confidence on my moral principle, peaceful life, monk's life, and I have the other important components of my life for sit and meditate. But what could happen to me? What was happening to me at that time? Then Buddha said that, Buddha said many things, but one of the things he said that, Megya, you lack of moral principles. You need more strength on moral principles in order to take such a huge flight in the meditation to attain enlightenment. That's why I ask you not to go to meditate for 3 times. If I ask you to stay here, you would be upset. So I let you go because I knew that you could not do this. You lack of ethical moral principle. See, friends, even if this monk was with the Buddha for some time, he had to do something with his moral principle. That is one of the 5 things actually. He lack of moral principle, and there were other things he needed to complete. So why do I take this story? Because the meditation doesn't work well if we have holes in our 5 principles at least. What are the 5 principles? Time is running very fast, so I should get into 5 precepts. As you know, I know that you are well aware of the 5 precepts. Panatipata, I promise to abstain from killing, harming living beings, and then stealing come as the second, and then the sensual and sexual misconduct. Then the 4th one is telling lies, and the last one is taking alcohol or liquor or drugs that could heedlessness. So there is a particular way we say it in Pali, and when it comes to English translation, so always based on I. It is not for somebody else. You cannot, practice 5 principles for somebody else. But it is only an individual training, and you promise yourself in front of venerable monks, and also metaphorically we keep the Buddha statue, and in front of the Buddha statue we promise ourselves to behave based on the 5 principles. I like to take the exact words of the Buddha related to 5 principles before I go into the practical personal level of 5 principles, and also the influence that we have on social levels with the 5 precepts. So Buddha clearly said that we have 2 important side of 5 principles. Those who come to the 5 precepts ceremony come with this understanding that I take the 5 principles into my life just to be away from some 5 wrongdoings. Perhaps you do not do them now, but there is a consistency on self-confidence that with the 5 precepts that I do not do. What are the wrongdoing we could do is killing, harming living beings, the first one. And the second one is the intention of taking what is not given and the real act of intention. Then the third one is, as I said earlier, sexual and also sensual misconduct. And then telling lies. Something not true is said as true, is telling lies. And then the behavior with all these drugs, liquor, and all the substances that we take for heedlessness. So we promise ourselves to avoid these 5 wrongdoings. But according to the Buddha's word, this is not completed yet. But when you observe 5 principles, you just say, I promise myself to be away from killing living beings, stealing, misconduct, lies, and drinks and drugs, and that's all. But uh, behind this, there are 5 important positive qualities we developed, and we should be mindful about that. What are these 5? 5 things are avoided, and you take the 5 things into your life. What are these positive 5 things? When you promise yourself to abstain from killing, harming, disturbing all living beings, what you are, of course, open your mind to loving kindness. When you do not harm anyone, the mind is empty from that anger, hatred, ill will, but mind is full with compassion and loving kindness. So your promise to yourself is to be away from killing, harming living beings, and then practice loving kindness. Then only, friends, the first precept is completed to bring your mind into peaceful state. Then you promise yourself to abstain from stealing, taking what is not given. And there is a sense of security you provide for neighbors and people around, because you secure the property of others. Even the plagiarism is not done under this principle if you observe it well. So you avoid stealing, but practice giving, practice generosity. Then misconduct is avoided completely when you observe it. There you practice complete lawful practices. You use your senses, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, and body peacefully, and you do not breach this line of peaceful state, peaceful livelihood. And when it comes to the lying part, you never lie, even for profit, because that is sometimes people lie just thinking that they could get out of a problem, but it's short term. But the moral disaster happened with the life or some profitable things is huge, friends. So speaking truth is always beneficial. Sometimes the happy things happens later on, and it is easy to tell a lie than telling a truth in this practical world. So when we comes to the 5th one, we do not take any liquor, any drugs, any substance that make us unconscious, but we practice mindfulness and awareness. So you can see clearly that there is a negative 5 things that you should avoid, and then the positive side that you push yourself into the next level of practice, which I clearly call concentration samadhi. So, sile patittai narasapanyo chittang panyancha bhavya. Those who understand the 5 principles in this manner definitely bring samadhi into application very easily, and then also development of wisdom. So when we comes to a personal level, by observing 5 principles, we expect trouble-free life. Look at the world today. I have seen, when Bhante Badya asked me to have this short talk with this topic, I search what can I say to this group of people who meditate with monks and different people. Then I found a lot of videos and articles how people engage with killing and stealing, and then misconduct and telling lies and so on. When we look at carefully those problems, issues in human life, they always invite those problems because they lack of those principles. I have experienced that whenever I, based on these 5 principles as well as many other principles, the sense of security is there. You do not want to worry about any problems when you are in these 5 principles. The spiritual aspect of the 5 principles is huge, friends, because not only the self-confidence you have when you take these 5 principles and practice over and over again, but there is some power, energy in this physical body and mind that protects you from any violation, any problems around you. That is true. I experienced that in my life, and a lot of people have experienced that. So when we comes to personal level, preliminary groundwork for the cultivation of higher virtues and wisdom is there. And when it comes to social level, Buddha said very clearly that you provide the security for the society. When you promise yourself not to kill, not to harm, but to practice or extend love and friendliness, you have a lot of friends around. The society, the people you associate have full confidence on you. Today, one of the problems we have is insecure feelings. This society, unfortunately, train us to be, individual and isolate individual. That is not what we have in the Buddhist culture. Monks and lay people always appreciate and try to live together, because it is the way we spread loving kindness. I don't mean that you live in one roof, but when you have loving kindness, there is a sense of love and security, and that comes from where we abstain from killing, harming living beings. So when you practice the other 4 principles, you provide the security. What about the 5th one, right? When you drink alcohol, you are not yourself. You cannot drive, you cannot talk to a person as you are, and your mind is suspended and frozen into a state. Therefore, you do not know what you think. And one of the videos I watch is one person is drunk, and he is driving, and now the police is caught. Police is on the way, and he is caught, and he was questioned, and he cannot answer anything, and he was sent to jail. So this happened. Having liquor is a social thing, and these 5 principles are recommended by the Buddha, for those who find peace and happiness, which is permanent and long lasting. But if you want, when we talk about the mundane life and how to maintain it, it would be a component for you to drink and socialize with friends. But what we are talking about today with the 5 precepts is finding peace and happiness with the 5 precepts. So the Buddha knows that we have shortcomings and mistakes. Though we say that these 5 principles should be practiced as they are, we may be having some violations and mistakes, but these 5 are not rules and regulations that entail punishment. We need to take the karma into effect with these 5 principles. If you do follow these 5 principles as they are, there is as I said, good sense of feeling, and you get self-confidence that you are a good person. One of the very important things, because a lot of people do not know who they are. The first thing we need to know that I am a good person, but it could not be imagined or bring about somewhere. You have to feel it perfectly. So that feeling, self-confident that I am a good person, come when only you take them genuinely, frankly, and live with that. There you see, sense of that peaceful state of mind. So when it comes to telling lies, because some principles have a lot of emphasis than a couple of principles. Because in the application of 5 principles in the social level, we have the 5th one and the second one, the third one are very important. It doesn't mean that the others are unimportant, but when it comes to the third one and this fourth one, especially if you can tell a lie, you can do all bad, or you can violate all the other 4 principles. So the musawada, telling lies, is emphasized as one of the important things, because if you habitually tell lies, you can kill a person and tell that I didn't do that. And then you can steal something from someone and say that easily that you never do it, right? But if you drink, and you cannot tell a lie because it is clearly visible for somebody. So friends, according to the commentarial stand, we have 5 things to be completed to violate one principle of these 5. Like if you want to commit killing or harming living beings into death, you have to complete 5 things. Basically, the first one, the very important one, is the intention. If you do not have any intention to kill living beings, the act of killing is never happened. Even though your car hit somebody and died, the moral principle is not violated. There would be a fine or jail or whatever punishment that the legal system prescribed for you, but you did not have intention to kill that person. It happens by an accident. Therefore, the intention of killing living beings is the very important thing. There we have, you must be known that there is that particular person is a being. Then you should know that you should have the knowledge that you are going to kill a living being, and the intention, and using any type of weapons to do the act of killing. Then the real act of killing should be there. So these 5 conditions, without any exception, should be there to complete the killing. Then only that demerits follows you from the killing. Like that, friends, each 5 violation should have conditions to complete the violation. So I'm not going into details, but my focus was with this short talk is that by following 5 principles, you never lose your friends. You never lose the happiness in this world. In my understanding, according to the Buddha's teaching, when with these 5 principles, you find peace and happiness better than ever. Your life become regulated and more organized, and it could be your life could be a reason for others' happiness, and you become a magnet-like person. You would be very attractive person because you practice loving kindness when you practice the first principles. With loving kindness, you of course protect the others' properties, and you would definitely practice loving kindness when you love your partner and keep the honesty with you, because with the 3rd principles you preserve honesty, and genuineness is really preserved with the 3rd precepts. And because I began my talk by saying that our mind is wild, it's just like a monkey. when with objects around, it could travel into different perspectives, opinions, both wholesome and unwholesome. But if you do not have five principles, what happens? It is always associating something negative. When you do not think about the five principles with uh, specific emphasis and disregard, what are the underlying tendencies you have in your mind is greed, hatred, and ignorance. These are the three roots of suffering: unhappiness, disappointment, frustration. So when you do not practice these five principles, no matter whether you are a Buddhist or a Christian or Catholic, these are labels. But when it comes to humanity, these five principles, uh, you know, protects our peaceful life. If these five principles are absent from our life, what we develop in our mind is greed, hatred, and delusion. They feed a lot of unwholesomeness in our life. So the underlying tendency of the violation of five principles is such that these three roots of suffering. Then when you abstain from five principles and follow the wholesome positive qualities, you slowly but firmly get the opposite of three roots of suffering. What are they? Non-greed, which means generosity. Then non-hatred or ill will, which means loving kindness. And the last one, the third one, is non-delusion, which means wisdom. Your life is in a super peaceful state. So there are a lot of things to share with this topic. Practical application of the five precepts in Buddhism is really nice, because we all need to make our mind peaceful, happy, and relaxed. When we talk, we need to talk what should be talked. When we do things, we need them to be perfect. So friends, these are the five principles. Buddha did not recommend 100 principles for you. How many? 5. So sometimes you apply one principles than the others. Sometimes you have another principles come into priority. So that kind of variance would be there in day-to-day life. So friends, take the message of the Buddha about the five principles and live a life of peaceful. When you practice loving kindness based on five principles and other important principles, you of course practice secular Buddhism, I would say. What does this mean? You do not hate anyone else, and you love your life and maintain on peace and happiness with loving kindness there and practice it. So this is therefore very spiritual in my point of view. And then you find the middle ground, as exactly said the Buddha said, the middle path. So you find a very strong peace and happiness. So friends, I would like to share with you Dhamma more and more, but time is a barrier. Venerable Bhante asked me to have 1 hour, maybe 5-10 minutes more, but I have taken 5 minutes in addition to what he said. This is a very nice topic to elaborate and go into other important Dhamma facts, but I keep it for next time if I am available. Otherwise, you would know many Dhamma on the application of the five precepts in Buddhism from Venerable Bhante and Most Venerable Bhante Sujata and those beautiful monks. So thank you for listening carefully and meditating with me, and I wish you blessing. And those who come to precept ceremony will be joyful with these five precepts, and those who practice it in day-to-day life, may you all find peace and happiness. Thank you very much. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu.
Thank you, Bhante Jinananda. It's a very good talk, something we all have to remember. Also, I want to make a special announcement. There will be a special Dhamma talk by Bhante Upananda. The topic is the 4 requirements for progress in life, and that is this coming Saturday. So keep your eye on our Facebook page under events. And thank you again, Bhante Jinananda.
Thank you
You're
so
welcome.
much. Thank you.
You're welcome, and wish you a good night.
Yeah. Good night, everybody.
Thank you.